Right. We are live. Tonight we are going to be playing some spicy Boros Reanimator. Saw this list on Twitter today. I actually saw it from a couple of sources, so I don't know who originated the list, but I saw it posted from a user, Soul NBA Galade. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I will link his Twitter in the description of my tweet that I just posted rather. God, did I forget how to tag people on Twitter? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna tag him actually on Twitter, so that way you guys can see the originator. He might have some updates. Yeah, but yeah, credit to him. Went ahead and replied on the tweet for him, and yeah, I just wanted to give it a try. I mean, the deck looks super interesting. Hadn't really seen anything like it before. I did make some updates personally. I wanted to really try this card. I'd never really read this card before, so like I wanted to essentially give it a shot because I mean it looked like it was well suited for the deck. Not quite sure if it, stacks up, as good as, let's say, like Fable, for example. But it does, it does have the opportunity to ramp you. And it does discard a card, which is exactly what the deck obviously wants to do. So I don't know. It was an interesting ad. I opted to play it over a Stormkirk Occultist and another Nahiri. So I'm interested to see how it functions because, quite frankly, I have never played with that card before, and I have not played with this deck before. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but let's just get into it because that's what we do here. But the deck looks solid. It looks simple enough. Really, yet another combo deck in Pioneer. You're just trying to reanimate an Aurelia or an Ugin with the spell Invoke Justice. But you have, little pieces of interaction along the way to go with that. Primary concern with this deck, I would say blue-white control. It's probably close to unwinnable. Other decks might be difficult. I do worry about mono green. They are a little bit faster, I feel like, than this deck can go, but everything else seems winnable. Hard to tell, if you're good against black-red mid-range. That deck has such a wide, cast over the metagame that it is possible that that's a bad matchup too. But they don't really have any ways to interact with Invoke Justice, and they don't really have any ways to kill Aurelia. So I imagine that one's actually pretty decent. I did throw a Chandra in the sideboard for the blue-white control matchup. I also threw in Redain. This card's very good against black-red sacrifice. It's also very good against, any sacrifice deck, but it's also very good against control as well. You can play the shield, or you can just play Redain herself. They're both very good options, I feel like, against control. The Archon of Emeria, I'm assuming, was an inclusion for like mono green and control as well. We're going to be on the play here. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really know what a keepable hand with this deck really looks like. We have early interaction here. We have a Fiery Temper, but the two Aurelias kind of concern me, I guess. I mean, I guess we do have to put them in our graveyard at some point, right? So, I guess this is fine. And we can discard them and draw 2 cards, so that's good. Cathartic Pyre is an interesting card too. What really excites me about this deck is the fact that a lot of these cards I've never played with before. So I'm eager to see, how they perform. Like, I can't remember the last time I cast this card outside of draft. I think I might be playing against the Nightmare here in the form of blue-white control. So that's not good, because I just said that this is probably not a good matchup. In terms of like what to play here, I think it's fine to just play Epicure, and then we can discard the Aurelia to our blood token rather, and that'll just be a easy cycle there. Oftentimes what I've found about control matchups is that it's generally difficult for them to remove like pesky 1/1s and 1/2s. You know, I used to, oh, it's blue-white spirits. Well, that's a very pleasant surprise, quite frankly, because I was worried that this was going to be a bad matchup, but I think we should be okay against blue-white spirits. Okay, well, that's good. That is an easy Fiery Temper. Fiery Temper is also interesting. You don't really get to play Fiery Temper that much in this format, but you know, it is a spell. I mean, it's a 1-mana deal 3. It's a lightning bolt basically in this deck, which is kind of nice. And as you can see, it gave our Rafine's Informant a counter, and it dealt with that Selfless Spirit. Now we have to watch out for Spell Queller, essentially. But we do have an answer for another spirit, so that's cool. Okay, so... Oh, that's interesting. That's actually kind of good against us. Let's see. So I can attack with the Rafine's Informant, see what they're going to do here. I'm leaning towards that one. That's 1 less to cast, and it gets 1/1 whenever it enters. Okay. I'm actually going to attack with both here, and I'm just going to go ahead and fire off this Pyre. Just get this off the battlefield. With this Remorseful Cleric out, we're not going to be able to do the Reanimator thing, but can possibly, it's an interesting draw, can possibly cast Aurelia, so that's good. Of course, we have to hit our lands and such. I guess we just discard her, you know, make this a 3/2, make it difficult for my opponent. You know, right now we're winning the race, which I'm actually really surprised. I didn't think this deck had the capability to race another creature deck, quite frankly. Okay. So this... Okay. I was going to say this makes the attack a little difficult, but now it's simple. Just turn it all sideways, right? And they can block, sacrifice Selfless Spirit, and trade with a Rafine's Informant. I'm fine with that. Sounds like a fair trade to me, to be honest. Oh, they just didn't. Okay, so that's fine too, actually, because now I get to play this Nahiri without any fear of getting cracked in the back end. Play our Cave of the Frost Dragon. Yeah, figured that was going to happen, right? And now our Reanimator spell is live. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. Okay, so we basically have to watch out for Rattle Chains. Any other spirit with flash. So draw a card, discard a card here. Or rather, do we discard a card? Do we need to discard a card? I guess we discard Nahiri. Drew another land. So let's go ahead and attack. And we'll hold up this Cave of the Frost Dragon for a Rattle Chains, potentially. Okay, they're just going to flash in a Spell Queller. Excellent. And Cave can just straight up block Spell Queller. If they attack, I'm going to assume they either have an Aganjo or something else, but I'm going to make them have it here. Just in case they, I don't know, maybe fucked up or something. But it also allows me to, yeah. Okay. Well, that's game 1 against Spirits. In terms of what to bring in against them, you know, I feel Portable Hole and Rending Volley are probably pretty auto include in a matchup like this. I do think, you know, like there are certain spells that are just kind of bad to cast into a Spell Queller. You know, I like Restoration of Aganjo, but it does seem like an easy Spell Queller target. I like Ugin. Might be a little hard to cast in this matchup. It's possible that Chandra is just better, although I could see my opponent outgrowing the -3. Kind of tough to say, honestly. Voldaren Epicure, you know, it's not the greatest spell, but it's efficient, it's cheap. You know, it's possible we should go some split on like the Restoration of Aganjo. Especially because it does ramp us technically. I do worry about, you know, casting my 3 drops into Spell Queller. It just seems not good, not efficient, but we do have a lot of mana to play with. I'm just gonna cut an Aurelia for this, and we'll go from there. Seems like a fine include. We have a blank board. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this one is this is close. It has lands and spells, but it's probably just a little too slow. Well, I guess I am putting back a land and keeping this. I mean, it has a Rending Volley, so we'll keep it. And we'll just put this back. Mausoleum Wanderer, Judge's Familiar. Very interesting. This is no spirit, but it's kind of a spirit, I guess. In spirit, I guess they're just blue-white flyers, right? That's kind of just the reality of this. And they did mull to 5, so that makes it a little bit easier on me. And I don't feel the need to fire off Rending Volley against this little guy. Should play this tapped and pass. Especially because, you know, they can't counter the Rending Volley anyway. They can exile it with Spell Queller, which is the thing. And they can also just Rattle Change. Whenever one of them should fire 2 less. Okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and deal with that. Don't need them to draw cards or anything like that. We're the control deck here. We're just trying to keep them off of stuff. And I don't want to get force spiked, so I'm not going to be... I should have played the Cave of the Frost Dragon. Well, I guess, honestly, it doesn't matter. Draw a card. Interesting. So they are just straight up blue-white flyers. Okay, so we really just need to find a way to discard a Ugin at this point, and then we're good to go. Okay, our opponent has 3 cards in hand. I don't feel like wasting my Fiery Temper on Cloud Conceer. Another Cloud Conceer. Okay. If they just pass, I guess I don't really have anything else to do with this turn. Okay. Well, that's good. That means we have a plan. Don't necessarily want to fire this off. I mean, so part of the reason to fire this off now is that we can draw a 2-drop, like a Rafine's Informant or something to that effect. I do worry that they could exile my graveyard. So I'm gonna wait for now. Ayo Penguin, what's up? How's it going? It is it's good. We're this first match with the deck, we're up a game as you can see. Gain line life and draw a card, sure. We're up a game against what looks to be just straight up blue-white flyers. I thought they were spirits at first. It's possible that I could be getting spell quelled right now. We'll see. Yeah, I love to see it. Yeah, the deck looks really solid. Always curious to see how these decks will perform. Okay, well, unless my opponent is holding exactly Spell Pierce, I think I just win. We're gonna discard 1 card. Oh, rip. It's fine. So unless they're holding exactly Spell Pierce, we just win. Turn target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then distribute 4. Oh, well, I guess I choose myself. We are attempting to reanimate an Ugin. Counter unless I pay 1. Yes. Alright, I am going to -3. Your move. Just built blue-white spirits for Pioneer. Nice. Yeah, for what it's worth, you know, I think blue-white spirits is probably better than what my opponent is trying. It looks like they're just leaning into the whole Flyers thing. But spirits is, you know, tried and true. Obviously a tribe with a lot of support. I don't think there's any need to complicate it with any more Flyers or anything. I mean, tech is cool. Like, you probably run like some number of Redain and stuff like that in your sideboard, right? But overall, I think what our opponent's doing is just kind of like overcomplicating things a little bit. Okay, well, that one doesn't even really count, to be honest. I think they're just probably testing something out. But yeah. Oh, you built JMO's list. Okay, I didn't know JMO had a list out there. But yeah, I mean, anything that guy built is probably worth copying at that point. He seems to know his creature decks relatively well. I don't know exactly how well Spirits is positioned right now with the presence of Rakdos midrange. But with that being said, I suppose you probably have a good matchup against Mono Green, and probably have a good matchup against Mono, or is I don't know about Mono White. Is Blue White Control a good matchup for Blue White Spirits? I feel like it could be, but maybe it's not because of Farewell. But I mean, you can counter Farewell, so it's probably decent, right? And like, you're not too worried about Supreme Verdict because you can just sacrifice Selfless Spirit in response. So it's probably pretty decent, I would assume. It's just faster and takes off and has the gas, yeah. This hand is a little slow. I mean, it has what I want in it. Hey, no. Sorry, my cat is messing with the outlet. Don't do that, buddy. It has discard, but like I guess I'll keep it. I don't know. Oh, I'm on the draw too. Yeah, I would have mulliganed this if I realized I was on the draw. Yikes. Okay. Well, hopefully we draw a 2-drop. Okay, it's Angels. We drew 1-drop. I don't know. Mono green's a 50-50. Okay, I can believe that. I don't know how good our Angels matchup's gonna be, but one can only hope that it's reasonable. Okay, we drew another Voldaren Epicure. Does this have flying? It has vigilance. I'm gonna guess that I should probably just play Fable here. And then, so the thing about Restoration is it thins my library, but I kind of need to find our combo piece. So let's just do this, and then next turn we'll play the Restoration of Iganjo. Kind of worried about Collected Company. Okay. Yeah, this is a matchup where we're probably gonna need Ugin, like ASAP. Yes, we will discard. I think I'm gonna discard these. Yikes, those weren't good draws. All right. Probably fucked this game. Kind of getting a little flooded. Now this is gonna get buffed. Yeah, we're probably dead. Unless I miraculously draw an Ugin, I think it's game over. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Yeah, I was worried this hand was a little too slow. I think that kind of just proved it right there. Okay, similar deal. Cut the Aurelia. I think the portable holes come in. Bring in the rending volleys. Take out. We don't necessarily have to cut Restoration this game, although I kind of would like to. I mean, just having a bunch of 3-drops against a deck that, you know, is just like creature after creature is kind of bad. Especially when the flip side can't even block them. One downside to Reflection is that Reflection can't really, the Goblin Shaman can't really attack through their force of creatures. So there is that. There's no reason to really bring in Redain here. I mean, it makes Collect a Company cost 2 more to cast, but what am I really gaining there? Is Archon of Armeria good here? It does slow them down. It might be worth bringing in. Maybe on the play it's worth bringing in. On the draw, I doubt it. Yeah, this is like a matchup that makes me question the validity. Not that this is even something to even think about, because nobody plays Angels in a serious tournament, but like stuff like this makes me rethink like whether or not this card is worth playing or not, because like this is literally probably not going to be good enough to like win the game. Like I would much rather just bring back an Ugin, and I would just rather have 4 copies of Ugin in my deck at this point in the game. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just bring in like, where is it? Archon. And we'll cut like a Voldaren Epicure or something and see how that goes. I don't know if that's going to be good enough or not. Yep, this is fine. It has our combo pieces. It has exactly what I want to bring back. I think that, you know, an Ugin against them is probably game over, unless they can immediately fire back with a Collect a Company of some sort. Okay. Need to dig for a land, of course. I will discard Ugin here and pass. Another creature, you gain 1 life. Okay. Land? Okay, good. Unfortunately, I have to play this on the red side in order to get full value out of my Voldaren Epicure discard here. But I think it's alright. If it's to slow them down. All right. Actually, let's just attack first. Opponent didn't play a land. They just kind of passed through their turn without doing anything. I doubt that was on purpose. Seriously doubt that was on purpose. But we should have this game on lock now, because next turn we can just invoke Justice and bring back Ugin. Like, regardless of what my opponent plays here. So yes, let's pitch. I don't really want to cast anything here. I like Fable as a follow-up to what we're doing. So maybe we just pitch Cathartic. Let's do both of these, I guess. Do I even need to mine this here at this point? I mean, my opponent's at 9. If I -3, they can potentially kill my Ugin, which would be bad. I could just kill their veteran here. Or I could just hit them. Veteran disturbs for 2. Yeah, I'll just hit the Luminarch veteran. And next turn we can just start attacking. Okay. I was about to say, I literally don't know how they beat that. If we go off that early, I could see Aurelia being good enough. I think here I just cut Archon because it's just simply too slow. Probably bring the Epicure back in. Is Nahiri? Nahiri is like my only way to really like remove a creature that has gotten too big, other than like maybe Portable Hole. Maybe. Yeah, maybe we just cut one Aurelia. Just leave one Aurelia out. And then yeah, if we can mulligan to a hand that essentially does what we just did again, I think we should be okay. I basically have to mulligan to a hand that reanimates something as fast as possible. And that's either going to be, well, I mean, it has to have discard spells and at least a combo piece, I think. Maybe maybe this is worth keeping in, because where's that? This, because it does ramp us technically, can ramp us. I'm gonna keep this. It doesn't have any removal, which scares me, but it does have our combo. Mana in this deck feels pretty smooth, I would say, so far. I think I just play Cave here, and I'm gonna discard a card, draw a card. Okay. Well, I was gonna say if I drew a Portable Hole, I would exile the Bishop, just to get that off the battlefield. Okay. Now here he can deal with that. If it gets too large, that's fine. Let's just play Fable here. Fable does ramp you too. So next turn we do have an Aurelia. So that's good. And I kind of see now how, like, Aurelia can be, like, pretty damn good. Because, like, now we, like... Yeah. So we can discard 2 cards. Thing is, if we swing with Goblin Shaman token, like, they kind of know something's up. So I think I might just be playing Nahiri here. They didn't play a 3rd land, which is kind of dope. I'm gonna say no here, I think. Interesting. I think that's probably a good follow-up for next turn, honestly. Like, after next turn, so like 2 turns from now. I think I'm gonna discard. I'm gonna discard Nahiri actually. My opponent missing a land drop gives me a little bit more confidence. Of course, they hit it now, but yeah. No blocks. All right, exile the saga. Play this. Target this. Me. Okay. Tribute 1/1 counters. We're gonna go. Here. 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 And here. That's fine. Get our additional combat phase. All right. Okay. So they hit their land drop. They had to collect a company. Looks like they're going to gain a bunch of life. And perhaps it was correct to keep this Nahiri just to get rid of this. This Youthful Valkyrie could be a problem. Yikes. This is problematic. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I may start by simply discarding a card. Like discarding Inspiring Vantage and seeing what I get. But then I can't. Yeah, I think it's probably just correct to play Chandra here. Just get rid of that. And then, I mean, I probably could have attacked, and I probably could have, you know, done something cool with that attack. But I think, like, attack and then see how they block. But they clearly would have blocked Aurelia with the Angel token, so it's kind of not worth it. It's going to suck if they have another Collected Company, of course. Yep. So no Collected Company, but their Angels are getting huge. I mean, Ugin still basically wins me the game. Like, at this point in time. This has Vigilance, so they're definitely going to attack with it. They're coming at me. Okay. Actually, am I just dead? No. They'd be one off. Okay. So just block here. I take 13, go down to 1. Potentially win the game if I draw Ugin. Definitely gonna, let's see, 3, 6. So I don't really actually win the game if I draw Ugin because I have to have 2 more mana to play it anyway. So I actually kind of got to draw an Ugin and an Invoke Justice, which is a tall order because I'm only playing 1 single copy of Ugin. So I don't know how this is going to go down. Okay, well, we obviously discard the easy one there. Yeah, that's not looking too good for us, guys. Let's see, 3, 6, 2, 4, 6. I mean, I have enough to play it. I mean, that's not the problem. I would get 2 combat steps, but the thing is, they're at 49. So like, this is a kind of a bad spot. I wish this was an Ugin. This should have been an Ugin. I thought about putting Ugin in my sideboard, but I didn't. Is what it is. It's a portable hole. That does answer this, but I'm still kind of boned. Yeah, there's just no way, right? Yeah, there's no way. No way. Okay, so we're learning though, right? Like, we're learning that we need more Ugins. Like, the thing is, like, Ugin is just such a good catch-all. Like, it deals with everything. Like, this card, while it does not win you the game on the spot, and in some cases Aurelia does, I have a hard time imagining a world where, you know, like, an Ugin isn't enough to catch you back up in a game. Like, if you resolve it, like, if you get it into play, because a lot of times, like, take mono green, for example, right? They build a house of cards, but the thing is, like, no deck can really interact with what they're doing. They have planeswalkers, they have creatures that when they die, they do stuff. They have enchantments and so on. Ugin exiles all of that shit, right? They get nothing in return. They're back to blank, square one, right? They can storm the festival or whatever the card's called, but like, the point is, this card wipes the slate, right? And really all you have to do is -4. So like, I kind of feel like the deck would, and this is just first perspective, the deck would kind of be better playing 4 copies of Ugin and maybe like 2 copies of Aurelia. That's just my first impression though. And my first impression could absolutely be wrong. And maybe this card is just gas. I'm also, like I said, I'm not going to take a ton of stock in losing to a deck that is not really even in the metagame picture, because when you play in a real tournament with stakes, right? Like, this is why people say leagues are just noise, and I'm a culprit of this too right now. I'm playing a nonsense deck. My opponent was playing a little bit more of an established deck, but still, in the grand scheme of things, a nonsense deck. Like, you're just not gonna play against that in a real tournament. You know what I mean? Unless you're in like the O2 bracket, right? That's just how it goes. So I wouldn't base a ton of opinion off of my matchup with, you know, Angels, because it's just not part of the metagame picture. All right, so we're gonna discard Aurelia here. Okay, we drew another land, so that's good. Let's just go ahead and swing. Attack. No blocks, that's good. Green-black playing Prosperous Innkeeper. They're probably playing Jund Sacrifice if I had to put a gauge on what they were playing right now. But we'll see. Well, so far it's just green-black. But it sure does look like Jund Sacrifice, doesn't it? Discard these. Get the madness trigger. Cast this. Let's go to attacks. See if our opponent's interested in doing a little trading. What's up, Eggy Benny? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome. Okay, no blocks. I will tell you something that has impressed me with this list that I've been relatively surprised about is the fact that this list actually applies pressure. Like, when I first laid eyes on it, I was like, there's no way this deck is applying any pressure in any other game plan. Like, it has to be just, like, it has to be just, like, playing, you know, the combo and playing towards the combo, kind of reminiscent of Esper Greasefang. If you've ever played that deck, it doesn't pressure your opponent at all. It literally just digs, tries to find the combo, right? And that's kind of what I thought this deck does. No way I thought these cards were really putting a lot of pressure on our opponent's life total, but surprisingly, I was mistaken. These cards are actually doing pretty good work. So we're gonna get a basic planes here. I bumped it up to 4 because of this card. I'm running 4 of this card. I had actually just read this card for the first time today. Oh, so you're just testing some Pioneer too? Nice. What are you testing? I'm just trying to find out if there's like merits to this deck. I was telling the chat earlier, it just feels like Ugin is just a better target for the I keep wanting to call it Invoke Despair, but it's not that. It's Invoke something else, right? I think Ugin is a better target for Invoke Justice, like, more often than not. Like, sure, it doesn't win the game on the spot, but like, it just seems better, you know? The awkward thing about Ugin is you might play a bunch of permanents yourself, so that's where I'm kind of torn. I thought they were gonna Thoughtseize me at first. I was about to be thrilled. Yeah, sure. I don't know what my opponent is doing. Initially, I thought they were Jund Sacrifice, but now I honestly can't even really put a gauge on it. Okay, they're attacking me for 1. That's fine. All right, we have successfully drawn all the lands. I guess we just discard. I guess we just discard a mountain, I suppose, and then return it. Oh, it comes into play tapped, so I should have just brought back Inspiring Vantage. First time playing with the card. Is it worth it to attack with Den of the Bugbear? I think maybe. Might as well, right? I'm not really doing anything else. Yeah, Ugin is terrifying. Yeah, you know, I think about the other decks, the main decks in the metagame right now, like Mono Green and stuff like that, and I just feel like Ugin just does a lot more work than Aurelia. You know, I can see a lot of instances where Aurelia doesn't win you the game against like a deck like Mono Green. I know Ugin is probably not great against... Yeah, this is kind of what I thought was going on, but in the red variety. So this is kind of bad for me, because they have 2 Prosperous Innkeepers, so they can kind of just keep going forever. But I'll just yield till next end step. I want to see more of what's going on. So I guess they're going to go until they hit a land, and then they can exile that land. Okay, it looks like our opponent's not going to do anything, so I guess let's just... Okay, deck. No more lands, please. Discard a Sacred Foundry. Okay, well, they didn't tap Bolas' Citadel, unfortunately, so, kind of doesn't matter there. I I was trying everything. Played some mono red cleave and some historic. Lost a lot. Then got a 4-1 with red black mid. Can't really beat mono green. Yeah. Yeah. I've been reading like Corey Baumeister's like responses to the Patreon and stuff like that, and he was saying like his record with mono green is absurd right now. It's kind of ridiculous. So, you know, honestly, at this point, I think I'm going to shock, and then we're just gonna. They're gonna have a big turn next turn. My only hope is to like copy Voldaren Epicure and maybe do something. Tried mono green a little bit ago and just could not beat any aggro deck. Yeah, that's kind of the duality of it, right? You play something that doesn't beat mono green, and then that's all you play against. And then you play something that you decide to play mono green, you know, can't beat them, join them. And then you get fucking iced out by like mono red and, you know, all these other fast aggro decks. Like Heroic isn't like an unwinnable matchup for mono green, right? And I'll be goddamned if you don't see it 1,000 times when you play mono green, right? I was playing the blue white heroic deck a little bit that I saw on Twitter, and it was pretty fun, but I swiftly like 0-2 to League, and I was like, I don't think this is for me. You know, after playing like tier 1 decks all year, I think I've gotten a little bit jaded. I'm so spoiled by tier 1 decks at this point that I kind of never want to seriously consider going back to playing like strictly worse decks, if that makes any sense. Like, I have no need to like big brain it and try to you know, try to do something like bigger than. Sorry, I have to respond to this because they're gonna fuck me up if I don't do something. If I don't hit something off of this blood token, I'm just gonna concede because I think they've got it. But anyway, I guess my point is, like, when I play a deck like red black midrange, I'm like, this is nice, this is great. Like, this deck has been refined by some of the best players in Pioneer right now, and I feel good playing this deck because I know that I have a high probability of just winning because I'm playing the best thing that there can be that can be played. And then I play a deck like this, and I'm just like, man, if I was playing mono red, I probably would just beat that deck, like, from card, like, just from, like, sheer, like, card quality alone. But it's okay. Like, we're just having fun. I guess I'm mainly talking about from a standpoint of, like, if I'm seriously testing. Like, if I'm like, okay, I want to find what I'm going to be playing in Atlanta. Because this ain't it. I'll tell you that much right now. Unless this deck seems to come a long way and evolves into something that's an absolute monster in this format, which I don't see, it's not going to be this. We're just fucking around, right? But like, I do think that this deck is fun. I don't think it's better than like Greasefang, you know? Like, Greasefang costs 3 mana, this card costs 5, so you know what I mean? So, like, you know, I have to ask myself seriously, like, is this better than Greasefang? Because Greasefang's kind of doing the same thing. But, yeah. So, anyway, my opponent seems to be playing just black-green Bolas of Citadel, which is kind of interesting. I guess Chandra comes in here. I don't know about Nahiri. I mean, all of their creatures kind of suck, honestly. Unlicensed Hearse is not really that great. I mean, I know they're sacrificing creatures, and they have some creatures that can come back, but yeah, I tend to doubt myself and avoid the good mid-range decks because I get worried about the mirrors, but it's often just right to play good deck with choices if you think you're an above average player. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, we all tend to do, I would say that's probably the the more common response. Like I have the same response, you know what I mean? Like I worry that I'm going to get paired up against the mirror and my opponent's going to be like, oh yeah, I've played this matchup 100 times, like brr, 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 and they're going to have like special tech for the mirror and stuff like that. But the only way you're going to get better than that person is if you like become that person. You know what I mean? And then you're the boogeyman, right? You're the person that everybody worries about. And that's kind of how I became with 4-color mid-range. Like now when I play against the mirror, I have an overwhelmingly positive win rate in the mirror because I've played the deck so much. Like I kind of understand how it goes. And I don't know, I just feel like empowered by playing the deck so much. So I mean, I don't know. It definitely feels like we tend to underestimate ourselves in that situation. We tend to think like we're going to be the bad player when in reality, like we're oftentimes either on the same level or maybe even slightly above our opponent in the mirror. God damn, this is a terrible hand. Yeah, absolutely. I always play like blue cards or combo decks, but I think I'm secretly in love with mid-range. Yeah, I mean, I'll play anything, right? Like I don't subscribe to like a singular archetype or anything like that. I always tell people like I'll play goblins or I'll play control. I don't give a fuck. Whatever is good, that's what I'm on. But like, make no mistake about it. I mean, like I definitely have my preference, and it probably lands somewhere around mid-range. But I go through phases of decks that I enjoy. I would say that if I had an archetype that I always return to, even though it's bad, is like Reanimator. I love Reanimator, but you know, I'll play whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm thinking about what to put back here. We can always pitch these lands if we end up flooding to Voldaren Epicure. I like the Cathartic Pyre. I think it's just going to be Informant. Portable Hole just has too much versatility. We got to put back 2 cards, so I guess it's just going to be... Yeah, I guess it's just going to be this. I forgot I'm old to 5 because I'm just jabbering. My best GP finish is with Affinity. I'd say mid-range is the only one I've avoided. Yeah, my best GP finish is, believe it or not, with Phoenix in Standard. And it was when... it was when everybody kind of was off the deck and like everybody was off the deck, and I opted to play it because me and Aspiring Spike had a conversation. This was before he started streaming. We had just had a conversation the weekend before about how the deck was still good in Standard, and I was like, its worst matchup was mono red. So I was like, I'll give it a shot, but mono red was the best deck in the format, and I knew that I just had to dodge it essentially. And turns out I mostly dodged it. I went 8-1 day 1. My only loss was to mono red, which I felt was acceptable. And then day 2, I narrowly missed top 8. I lost to red green, and I lost a really close one to black green and something else, like towards the tail end of the tournament, you know what I mean? So it didn't feel too good, but that's just how it goes sometimes. But I guess that was a long segue to like, yeah, Crackling Drake. Yeah, I was playing Saheeli and Crackling Drake in that deck, main deck too. It was pretty cool, like copying the Crackling Drakes and giving them haste. The tech that I missed out on that weekend was Kefnet. Kefnet was like, at least I don't think I was playing Kefnet. Yeah, I think Kefnet was like the card that I really missed out on for that weekend. Had I have gotten a little bit more preparation, that would have been the card for sure. I'm gonna Cathartic Pyre this because, frankly, if I draw an Aurelia or an Ugin or something, I can just pitch it to this blood token. I just have to hope that my opponent like gets stuck on lands, or like I start drawing a little bit better. But I may end up I may end up dropping this league and like maybe we'll play something else. I don't know. Well, that's a pretty good draw, I would say. Yeah, I don't really want to play my land yet. I will say Fiery Temper is enjoyable to cast. It's not often you get to cast Lightning Bolt in Pioneer. Doubt my opponent will block. They probably value the ramp more, I would assume. I don't really see a reason to portable hole this, honestly. They could collect a company anyway next turn. Looks like my opponent might have a collected company for me. In an effort to get them to give me a main phase so I can cast this portable hole, I am going to attack. I'm willing to trade my 1/1 for the for a card that they get off of collected company, like a priest or something. But I still don't think my chances are good. I mean, I like that I drew Ugin, but not only do I have to, yeah, and I can't even target anything with this. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I mean, I can obviously target something, but it's not going to be anything, like, worthwhile. The 3 cards in hand, I mean, I don't know. There's another deck that I was playing in Legacy that I really enjoyed recently. It was I don't know if you've seen this. You probably have if you're an avid Legacy player, but it's Riddle Form, or not Riddle Form. That's a really bad enchantment. Riddle Smith combo, which is probably just a strictly worse Storm. I'm skeptical anytime I see Defense Grid in a Legacy deck. It usually means the deck needs a lot to go off. But at least in Gold Fishing, this deck was really good. I have a hard time imagining how this deck beats like a Force of Will or a Daze in some... Well, I guess it can be Daze with Lotus Petal and shit and the Soul Lands. But I guess my point is, like, this strikes me as a bad Reanimator or Storm. But I'll be goddamn if it ain't fun. Super cool. Casting Breakthrough to basically just draw 4 cards for 1 mana is like pretty fucking sweet. But yeah, how the deck functions is with Containment Construct. Whenever you discard a card, you exile it basically, and you can cast it this turn. So you pretty much, with Riddle Smith and Containment Construct, you just go off. Obviously that's that can be a pipe dream, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, you just Storm. That's all you're doing. Like, after you get those 2 out, it's game over, because, like, you just have so many ways to, like, redraw. Like, Breakthrough, you draw 4 cards, and then you can discard your hand, and you can just replay the cards, and then you just Grape Shot them. Brain Freeze is nice, because it's another way to, like, sort of go off, I guess, if you can't Grape Shot them. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's also a way to potentially, like, you can Brain Freeze yourself and get a what do you call it? You can get a Echo of Eons into your graveyard if you really need to, like, redraw your hand or whatever. Okay. Well, I need too much at this point. I need too much. I mean, I don't know. Oh, guys, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I mean, it's cool. It's just not good. What do you know what I'm saying? It's cool, it's just not good. I'm just having a hard time, like, making this one work. I mean, it's not my deck, obviously. I'm probably just kind of getting unlucky, but I'm sort of having a hard time, like, finding the motivation to make this one like a 3-2 at this point. I might just play that Riddler deck. It seems more fun. At least I would have more fun losing with Riddler. I would have to change the stream title, but I'm fine with that. I need to stop playing bad decks. It's getting me... It's just burning tickets over here. Not that I really mind at this point. I mean, it's all in fun, but at a certain point, I'm just like, God damn. I will say that I absolutely fucking want to just put Ugins in that deck. I just, like I said, I just worry that God damn, are y'all gonna take the cards? What the fuck? I worry that Ugin exiling my own permanents might just be bad too. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you get an Ugin, but you have to exile, like, potentially, like, your, you know, Fable of the Mirror Breaker and whatever creatures you have in play. And then you're left with nothing but an Ugin, which, you know, is probably fine in some cases. But, like, let's just say you're playing against Phoenix, and maybe you don't exile anything, but then you've just got a Ugin on the battlefield and a bunch of creatures. I guess that's probably okay. If you resolve it, that is. But yeah, I think if I were to run that one back, I would have to play more copies of Ugin. Because there just ain't any, like, bigger, badder creature or thing to bring back. And then you're ahead when you just tick off. Yeah, that's a really good point, too. I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong? Like, I feel like it's just better than the creature. Where's it at? What did I name it? Oh yeah, that's right. I named it Boros Reanimator because that's basically what it is. Like, should we just be playing 4 copies of Ugin in this deck? Is there anything else that's even comes close to this card? Because once you get this in play against mono green, it's lights out. Against red black, it's lights out. Like, part of the reason why red black is so good is that, you know, it has a bunch of permanents that are difficult to remove. Graveyard Trespasser, Kalidas having 4 toughness, Chandra, you know, things like that. Cruxa, you know, whatever the card that has Brawl or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, maybe we'll just run this one back with Ugin. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to, like, suck it up and you know, try to make the deck good. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't good. That's not really fair for me to say. It's not really my place to say, but like, we just need to, like, I like that. Here's the other thing that I like about this. I like that I can attack with a Fable Goblin, or I can just, like, basically I can do this after combat, right? And it still has a great effect. I don't even really want this card in the deck, if I'm being completely honest. Like, Doomwake played this list recently, right? I think he did. Didn't he play a similar deck? I feel like he did. Or am I thinking of someone else? Someone else has played this deck and oh, he did. He did. This is what he played. So kind of similar. I don't know why you would play Rest in Peace. Oh, wait. This is just Boros midrange. Oh, interesting. So this must be kind of where that deck really originated from. I don't know what the deal with Stormkirk Occultist is. It just feels not good. I mean, I know you can cast it off of Madness, and that's cool. There's a bunch of Madness in this deck. That is kind of true. What does Melia do? Crafty Companion? Is that what it is? Also, what are the Hushbringers for? I've been meaning to ask that. Oh, it's Mila. My bad. I don't know what the Hushbringers are for. Oh, it's one of these flip cards. Whenever an opponent attacks one or more planeswalkers you control, put a loyalty counter. Whenever opponent you control becomes a target spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. And then it's Luca on the flip side. You may discard a card, draw a card, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield against haste. And whenever a creature enters battlefield under control, it deals damage. Starting loyalty 5. I don't know about that card. Seems a little, I don't know. be honest with you, I don't even know if this fucking card belongs in the deck. I just want Ugin. Just give me Ugin, that's all I want. That's all I care about. And I'll take the Chandra out, I guess. Even though it's decent against control. Nahiris are cool. You can't get anything with the ultimate of Nahiri in this deck. So maybe we just, I mean, Chandra is good. I guess Nahiri does kind of play into your plan of discarding cards, drawing cards. There's just not a creature to get with her unless we run like an Aurelia, which honestly, like, I don't think I'm ultimate Nahiri anyway, but like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, what are some good options? I don't want to run that Stormkirk card. That card's bad. Like the Madness card, and there are no other good Madness cards. We could run the Wandering Emperor. That's also a good one. It doesn't it doesn't discard cards, but I mean, I think we have enough discard. We have plenty. The Wandering Emperor. Because there's not any other Planeswalker that does like better shit, right? Like the baddest creature you can bring back in Pioneer is Worldspine Worm. That can't happen in this deck because Worldspine Worm shuffles itself into your deck when you discard it. So basically, like, Ugin is your next best bet in terms of like Planeswalkers, and maybe Nicol Bolas. Destroy creature, draw a card. And this is return target permanent. So I guess it could be anything, right? Let's see. Enchantments. There's Sandworm Convergence. Creatures with flying can't attack you. Yeah. There's Omniscience. We can return Omniscience. Zakama. Overwhelming Splendor. Just make all their creatures 1/1s. No, that seems bad. We'll just stick with this. I guess there's also Ulamog, right? He's kind of hard to deal with. Kozilek's legal too. Exile 2 permanents, but that's when you cast him. There's also Emrakul. When he casts a spell. Emrakul is just literally a 13/13 flying trample protection from hex or instance rather. But you could turn it into a fucking 17/17, which is funny. But no, I think this is probably fine. You're never gonna cast Ugin, which sucks, but we don't care, right? We're just literally digging for our combo at this point. I do think that no, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. So yeah, I still don't know what Hushbringers are for, so I'm just not even going to worry about that. I do think fuck it. Let's just run it. Let's just run it. I was going to try to make room for another copy of the Wandering Emperor because I really love that card, but like I don't want to make the deck too diverted from our original game plan, you know. This is a cool idea at the very least. It's not like it's you know, you see a ton of decks that are like trying to win with Ugin these days. What's the card that I didn't oh yeah, I took out a card from my sideboard. That's right. Do we just want to put the Chandra back in? I kind of want an Alpine Moon. But I guess Ugin does exile our own Alpine Moon, huh? Oh shit. Doomwake with the fucking raid. What's up, dude? I appreciate it, my man. Doomwake's the man. I hope your stream went well. Welcome everybody. Welcome.
And look at the
Bart
sweet
Grap
prize
4,
I
thank you
won.
so much for the follow. I almost said the raid. Thank you, Doomwake, once again. Appreciate it, man. I'm trying to innovate again. I saw you were playing the Boros mid-range deck from the challenges. And then one of my friends was actually playing the like Reanimator version or whatever. And I was like, this is sweet. So like now I'm trying to kind of innovate off of it. Ugin just seems like a better target for Invoke Justice. So I'm just kind of running with that. And also, this is the first time I've read Restoration of Iganjo, which is a pretty sweet card in this deck. So yeah, I'm just giving that a shot. Right now I'm thinking of a 15th sideboard card, and I think it's just going to be Alpine Moon in all honesty. So we'll just roll with that, and we will decide what we... Well, actually, no. At that point, we're good. Yeah. So let's get this Alpine Moon. Let's get these cards, and let's run a league. And this time, we're not going to lose because we're not playing Aurelia. We're playing better cards. And I guess, like, worst case scenario, like, we could bring back a Planeswalker, but we're kind of all in on this Ugin plan. You know, like, a lot has to go right, but at the end of the day, this is still not a bad deck. I mean, you guys kind of saw, like, in the first league, like, we were pressuring our opponents pretty well, with the exception of, like, the last 3 games. So yeah, things were going pretty well up until that point, I suppose. We did do a solid number on people when we comboed, so there is something to that at least. Now, is the deck better than like its competitors, like Greasefang? You know, probably not, but it's more fun. So there's that. Crazy Ship, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome.
The sweet prize
Appreciate it, you guys. You guys can find my handles and stuff like that in the Twitch, just under the stream there. And you are more than welcome to join my Discord. We kind of hang out, talk about like memes and other games, not just Magic, food, animals, you name it. It's all encompassing. So have a pretty great community. So yeah, we're just waiting on the cards to get here. And we're going to run another Pioneer League. Looks like it's at 64% for Mana Traders. And then we'll run it back. Is there any merit to one large creature so you have a target for Nahiri? You know, Crazy Ship, it's interesting that you brought up that point. Before the raid and before you guys got here, we were kind of talking about that. And, you know, the original list had an Aurelia. And it's possible that, you know, the deck does need to play at least a singleton copy of Aurelia. Not only is it like a pretty decent like target for Invoke Justice, because Invoke Justice it spreads counters, you know, amongst creatures that you control. So you can pick more creatures than just Aurelia and go for a big alpha strike. So it is possible. It is also castable, like, let's be honest, you know what I mean? So yeah, I could see running a single copy of Aurelia. I also considered one of the big Eldrazi's, because, you know, they...
And look at the sweet prize I won.
Otterhouse, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Let's put an Aurelia in there. You've convinced me, Crazy Ship. I think we should put one creature in there, just in case, right? Just in case. We don't want to be ultimating Nahiri and then going and getting a Voldaren Epicure, do we? Oh yeah, no, Otterhouse, I definitely knew that, and that is a good point, because it kind of like ramps you in a way, so that's nice. Like, you can either do it on that, you can do it on Rafine's Informant, Voldaren Epicure. This is the first time I've ever actually read the card, and I was surprised. I was like, man, this card is actually like pretty fucking decent. I do have to cut a card for this Aurelia, so I don't know how married to this Wandering Emperor I am. I might actually cut a Restoration as we're talking about it, because it competes with Fable, and it is kind of worse than Fable, so I'm gonna cut one. I think it's either that or Wandering Emperor. It's difficult to decide. Okay, no, let's keep the Restoration in. I'm going back on my word here. We're gonna cut the Wandering Emperor, and we're just gonna bring in the Aurelia. Okay, so let's get her an Aurelia, and then we're good to go. Am I pronouncing her name right? Probably. It looks like Aurelia. She reminds me of the Boros Acroma. If you're familiar with that card, it has fucking Morph for some reason. And I remember a long time ago, back when we were trying to break Boros Hate Bears before Stoneforge was unbanned, we were playing the Acroma for Morph, and then we were playing Flicker Wisp to target it, and then it would come back into play. Of course, it would be flipped, and you didn't have to pay its Morph cost to flip it. It was a stupid bad combo, but it occasionally that you would be able to live the dream, and that was a fun time in Modern. It was never good, but I was gonna show it to you guys. It's a really sweet card. Yeah, the red Acroma. It was really fun. Yeah, you would just play it, and then for its Morph cost, and then you would play like Flicker Wisp and just target it or whatever. But no Acromas are legal in Pioneer, unfortunately. Yeah, 8 mana, spell can't be countered, flying, trample, pro white, pro blue, and it has fire breathing. So, a weird card. Okay, Boros. Where's our Boros deck? Here it is. Okay, we're good. Let's roll. All right. We lost last league, but we're going to win this league. We did play against some random ass decks too. We played against Angels, and we played against Black Green. What was it? Bolas' Citadel or whatever. Which initially I was like, surely this person is playing red for Mayhem Devil. Nope, they were just straight up Black Green. It's very interesting. So obviously other people are playing their janky decks, trying to get some testing in, or refine these lists that are just never going to make it, myself included. But at least we have a solid game plan going on here. I mean, I have at least tried to prepare for some metagame decks. We've got, you know, Sunscourge Champion for the burn matchups, along with Red Cap Melee, Portable Hole. We've got Redain for the control / Red Black Sacrifice. Rending Volleys for the humans decks that are running around out there. Hearse for the Phoenix decks. Archon of Myria, just sort of a good card in general. Truly don't know if I need 2 of them, but it's good against mono green and such. Then of course Ugin. I mean, I'm hoping this card just closes out the game in a lot of these matchups, because it seems to have the makings of a card that can, you know, make a big impact in Pioneer, but you just rarely see it cast because it's just too expensive. But 5 mana is a fine price to pay for an Ugin. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Should we be just like playing Greasefang instead? That might be the case, but you gotta experiment with stuff while you can, right? I'm not yet in the mode of preparing for Atlanta. I did get my invite a few weeks ago, and I haven't yet settled in on like testing for the event. I am playing in Baltimore in a few weeks, or a couple weeks. Man, time's flying. I'm playing Modern though, so. And truth be told, I think next week I'm gonna like test for it, even though I don't really need to test. I know what I'm playing. But I'll just play 4-color.
The sweet prize I won.
Red Peach Tea, thanks so much for the follow. Cool name. I appreciate that. Appreciate your support. I'm gonna keep this one. It seems okay. We've got some stuff going on. We have an Ugin. We have our Reanimate spell. The thing I like about this too is that it doesn't matter like how far behind you are. Of course, this might be an absolute beatdown. Yeah. Ooh, I don't like this. Anyway, if we do manage to resolve an Ugin, we probably win. But we have to resolve an Ugin first. Yeah, I mean, it might be in a tough spot here against mono white humans. Voldaren Epicure would have been nice, right? It could have just like been a great blocker for this. All right, we got a Thalia's Lieutenant, so we're gonna get domed for 3. Okay, there's the Epicure right on time. I could play Needle Verge Pathway, and no, we're gonna I think so. I've got some lines here. Like, I think what I'm gonna do is just play a Ganjo this turn, play Voldaren Epicure. Don't think I'm gonna discard anything. Well, I might have to discard this Ugin, and then next turn either we play Fable or Fiery Temper. Ugh, gross. I don't like that at all, players. Don't like that at all. Just take the trade here, get hit for 6, go to 11. I mean, we potentially have an Ugin in 2 turns if we don't block, like with our Goblin Shaman token. I'm trying to think, like, so if we block like here, for example, right, we take 4, go to 13, we play Goblin Shaman token, they go 3, 7. Yeah, it's just so much fucking damage. Yeah, just block here. A little hesitant to do this just to conserve like information here, but okay. So I guess we just hit Lieutenant. Yeah, they play Brave the Elements, right? So let's just hit Thalia's Lieutenant here. Still in a hell of a spot, but I don't know, maybe by some miracle we survive. Five, 6. Yeah, I think that's lethal, right? Yeah, exactly lethal. Okay. Well, that's why we play Rending Volleys and Portable Hulls. And Sunscorched Champion is a fine blocker in this matchup. I think we can probably just cut the Aurelia. I think, you know, Restoration of a Ganjo is good, but like, I'm actually kind of confident in this matchup, like in a weird roundabout way, because if we land an Ugin, we just outright win. Like, there's no way they can beat that. So we just have to literally survive for, you know, a short amount of time. In fact, I don't even think like Nahiri is necessary. So like we just get Sunscorched Champion in here. I would like to fit these Archons of Emeria if possible. But maybe it's just better to... Well, on the play, I think they're fine. I was going to say maybe it's just better to have Restoration as an enabler, but I think that's fine. And then I'm going to cut a single copy of Voldaren Epicure because it's not the best blocker, and it's probably our worst enabler. I'll keep this hand, and I think I'm just going to open up on a Sundown Pass and pass the turn back. Yeah, this one is much better. Now that we're not in the blind, you know, we know what hands we can keep and what ones we can't. I think a deck like Mono White Humans is generally going to catch your opponent off guard game 1, and then it's like an uphill battle from there. So, okay, not a bad draw. Let's just play the Sokens on here and go ahead and play Rafine's Informant. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I muted myself. I'm so sorry about that. So we'd kill that, and then now we just play Sunscorch Champion, and we're... Oh, hold on. We're still on blockers. And then after that, we're basically just waiting for a Invoke the Righteous or whatever it's called. Oh, wait. Did we play a spell already this turn? Oh, yeah, that's right. We play Cathartic. That's right. Duh. I forgot the static effect accounts for spells that you have cast beforehand. But our opponent has kind of ran out of gas in a way. Of course, they're just drawing like Brutal Cathar after Brutal Cathar. That's fine, though. Yep, that's fine, too. Hit me for 7. That's good. Next turn, you get to play and copy champion, though. That's dope. Yeah, exactly. Just keep doing it. Like, seems to be in a good place. And we get another one, too. Do I want to 3, 6? I currently have enough mana to cast Ugin, but I guess I'm just gonna sit on that because I can get another treasure for my troubles. Of course, they don't want to block, so you have to discard a card too. Okay, they just conceded. That's good. So they ran out of gas. They conceded. Is Archon too slow on the draw? Do we just bring in Nahiri on the draw? I mean, that card is a little slow too, depending on if they play Thalia or not. Decisions.
And look
I like
at the
Nahiri
sweet
as a
prize I
means
won.
to exile like a big Thalia's lieutenant or something like that. Restoration might be good, but like it is just kind of awkward, right? Like I don't know. There's so many 3-drops. It's tough. Bark in Motion, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, fam. Welcome. Appreciate all you guys. Hope y'all are having a great week. It's almost Friday. I mean, it might not be Friday for everybody, but it's my Friday. I'm on an 11-day work week, 11 out of 12. Tomorrow will be 12. I know there's some people that have to work like months at a time in a row. I don't know how you guys do that, but goddamn, I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for Baltimore, honestly. I'm not playing Pioneer. I'm playing Modern, but still, it'll be nice to get out there. Do we want to portable hold this? Kind of, right? Slow them down. Get that off the battlefield. Okay. All right. Well, look at you. Hopefully they don't fucking play Thalia's lieutenant next turn. That would be bad for me. But this deck does seem to have like the staying power to sort of stick around for a little bit longer. They are going to be able to potentially flip a Gideon next turn. I guess I don't block, right? Might need to block something bigger next turn. All right. Cool. I could kill Gideon. Might not be the worst play. Especially while they're tapped out. And they missed their land drop, so they have 2 non-lands in their hand. And we are 2 turns away from winning the game, basically. Like, without question, 2 turns away. Oh no, I forgot this card. Exile's a card. Oh damn. Is it just when it enters? Or attacks? Oh man, that hurts. That hurts. Sure. Gosh. Awkward. That would have been great last turn. Yikes. Well, the good news is we can potentially, oops, sorry. We can potentially use that as a combat trick next turn and kill that thing. I mean, they've got 1 card in hand. They missed a land drop. I think we might be dead. Well, maybe not. If they don't do anything, then we're not dead, but if they have a Brave the Elements, we lose, right? Oh shit, I forgot about the oh man, I forgot about the pay 3 life. Yeah, we're dead. Whoops. Yeah. At least humor me and cast Brave the Elements, opponent, please. I know you don't have to, but please just do it so I feel a little bit better about what I just did. Not that I was going to win anyway. This card actually did work. I forgot about its effect. Had it not have been for that card, we would have 100% won that game. Bringing back the Ugin. That is definitely something that I was not anticipating. But I haven't played any graveyard strategies against humans yet. I just assumed they brought in Rest in Peace. So I was not anticipating that card. Perhaps I would not have been so liberal about discarding my Ugin in that way. Had I known that I had to watch out for like a 2-mana creature. But you live and you learn. So we're going to start with an Epicure here. His hand looks good, by the way. Hand looks good. Yeah, I don't know. The mono white humans matchup can definitely be rough. I feel like we maybe I probably kept like a little bit too like slow of a hand game 1 or something. Probably do need to look for like a turn 1 or 2 play at least. I think I kept a hand that was like first action was on turn 3. Okay, it's red black. All right. Does feel good casting Fiery Temper, I will say that. Sick. Do we play Restoration here? I think so. Make sure we hit our land drops and shit. Especially because I don't have 2 cards to really discard right now. So this card is dope. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's kind of like a Fable, but it's... I don't know. They're both, like, pretty close. Difference is, obviously, like, you don't get that... you don't dig as deep, and, like, the flip side isn't as potent, but... seems pretty good, especially because we're about to discard this Rafine's Informant and then bring it back, which seems like pretty fucking sick. I like Cathartic Pyre because we get to kill that thing. I think I'm just gonna discard. What do I want to do this turn? I guess Epicure is my weakest card, right? I guess that way this kind of ties up their mana. They have to think about killing my Goblin Shaman token. And then next turn we get this this guy right here. So they've got multiple things to really think about. They discarded 2 Blood Crypts. Yeah, I like that the Restoration also brings back Voldaren Epicures as well. Like, that seems kind of cool. Like, just keeps bringing them back, recurring them, getting the blood tokens into play. It kind of like turns your... Like, it turns it into card advantage, essentially. I mean, the sagas are already kind of card advantage, but, like, discarding the cards and then getting them back is always, like, a plus. So my opponent is thinking in their main phase. They have 6 cards in hand. They haven't played their lands yet. They discarded 2 lands, so I gotta assume they have another. Looks like they're just opting to attack first. In that case, I guess I'll block with my Goblin Shaman. We can use this on a Saga. I don't really want to, but we can. It's certainly not the best thing that we can be doing, but the counters, putting them on our creatures and such, and that could definitely be a play that, you know, is appetizing. Obviously, like, best case scenario, we get back an Ugin, right? That's what we want. But we do have to keep in mind that Dreadbore is certainly a card that our opponent could play, so perhaps the Saga plan is just better. What's good, man? I am playing the same deck that we talked about earlier, but this time I'm playing Ugins instead of Aurelia. Okay, they're gonna Thoughtseize me. Be interested to see what they take. I mean, I gotta assume it's gonna be Invoke Justice. Card's just too good to pass up here. I mean, what if they hit Restoration? Then we just literally get it back at some point. Yeah, makes sense. We're just playing like 3-drop Saga Tribal over here. Like, in my mind, so we played against a bunch of nonsense the first league, and Aurelia just like wasn't impressing me all too much. So I don't know. I opted to just like run it back with this version because frankly it just seemed like a better version of the deck. I don't know what to discard here. Restoration is really impressing me. I really think my sauce is the real deal. You think so? It's been doing that well. I think I'm gonna discard a Fable here. Okay, immediate regret. Yeah, I've been liking this card a lot as well. It's been pretty damn good. I know they'll get a zombie, but yeah, they're not gonna block. That's fine. So 4 cards in their hands. And they've hit every land drop, and they discarded 2 lands with the previous Saga. So there's Dreadbore. So I get a zombie. Yeah. Sure. Okay. It's another way to kill one of my creatures, I suppose. Playing the 8-drop, the 8 2-drop creature helps make it consistent. Oh yeah, definitely. I always have a target for it. I mean, it's been very valuable to my plan for sure. I don't know if I should kill this Reflection or if I should like just go for the best possible play, but I guess I'm gonna just kill this thing reluctantly because I'm kind of falling behind here. Especially with this fucking shit right here. So discard this and return, I guess, Voldaren Epicure into play. And play tap, that is. And I don't really have a good attack here. Kind of tempted to cycle this Inspiring Vantage, so I guess I'll just do that. If I draw another land, then so be it. I'll just play it. Okay, that's a decent one. Kind of have a feeling my... Oh, you got a bounce? Okay. Peace out, man. Appreciate you swinging by. I kind of get the feeling my reflection is probably going to go at least to the Blood Tithe Harvester, and they might have another removal spell. We'll see. Hopefully don't Cruxa or Thoughtseize me. That would be bad. That was my reason for maybe initially hesitating to discard and draw, as if I drew a Invoke Justice or an Ugin. I mean, discarding Ugin really isn't that big of a deal. It's kind of what I want to do, but drawing Invoke Justice there, it's kind of rough because it just means that I'm susceptible to a good Cruxa or Thoughtseize. But it looks like, I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. They didn't play a land last turn. Them doing that immediately sort of makes me wonder. Okay, opponent goes to 16. I mean, we have Architect of Restoration next turn, so that's kind of nice. They didn't sacrifice a zombie or anything. Not that they really had to. We didn't block, but I mean, they have to make some decisions here. If they're going to kill Reflection of Kiki Jiki, they have to do it now, so that way we don't actually get to copy things. So, we'll see. Okay, that was pretty strong. So they Shatter Skull smashing my 1/1s. We can invoke Justice here, targeting a Fable. I don't really love that, especially because I have to put a mana down to. I don't know. I mean, I'm not casting Reflection of Kiki Jiki sorry, I'm not targeting anything with Reflection anyway, because all my shit's legendary, right? Or no, it's not legendary, actually. So that's kind of cool, actually. That's very interesting. Yeah, that's right, because Reflection can copy itself as well. That's kind of cool, actually. So we'll let our opponent attack. They have me pretty low, so definitely some things to consider this turn for them. If we block with the Architect, we do get tokens, so that's worth noting. They have currently 11 power in play. Now they can animate Den of the Bugbear. Okay, they just have a Sorin they're going to play. So get a little bit of a reprieve here. Kind of feel like you should attack first, see how I block, but obviously I don't know the contents of their hand. Okay, they hit a Blood Crypt off of their Sorin. Yeah, I don't think you attack. So we'll just create a copy here. I mean, that's not gonna hit. They didn't have a creature leave this turn, did they? Yeah, so that was a waste of a Fatal Push. So that's good for me. Give me a discard card. If you do return target permanent. So that's good. We discard Voldaren Epicure, and we'll return it to the battlefield. And do we invoke Justice this turn? I think I kind of have to, right? Target Fable. So if we attack here, they can go 2, 4, 6, 8. They can actually triple block this. So I kind of want to open myself up to that. I'm just gonna attack with this one with the copy. So we make an additional blocker here. We know one card in their hand. It's been an interesting game. It's certainly been like, oh no, fam, what are you doing? It's a copy. You don't need to do this. I mean, I gotta sacrifice it at the end steps anyway. I guess, like, I don't know. I don't know if there's any real reason to do that. It seems wrong. You lost a zombie and we didn't lose anything. But oh well. Alright, so opponent is plussing Soren. The minus on Soren is dealing 13 damage, so I do actually need to address that at some point. So drew a Dreadbore. They are Dreadboring Restoration of Kiki Chiki. Well, in response, we're just going to copy our Architect. Okay, their one card in hand is a Blood Crypt. Okay, so we have 4, 6, potentially 7. Man. Discarding this Ugin kind of sucks because, like, it means that I can't, I think it's actually, like, more correct to keep it in my hand, as odd as it may sound. Because I'm just really one land away if you count attacking with my goblin token. And I kind of want to attack with this turn anyway, so I think I'm just going to do this. Attack Soren. That way I don't have to worry about the threat of the ultimate. I discarded that. We're so close. If we resolve Ugin, it's lights out, but obviously we have to get there first. Cut and ribbons. That could be bad if they get enough mana. So they have one unknown. To cut this one? Yeah, I guess so, right? Luckily, our creatures have held them back for a significantly long time. Longer than I expected anyway. This has been kind of a grind. Kind of a grind fest. They've spent a significant time on the clock, though. I just now realized that. Okay, so they attacked with everything. I think I'm just gonna take 4. The 2, so that would make it a 6. So what if we... I don't know. This is gonna be a tough game to win for sure. I'm really surprised they didn't. I guess they're gonna fatal push now, maybe, or are they just gonna play another Kalidas? Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. So they block with a zombie. I could use Soken's, but I really just want to hit my land drops. I guess I should have attacked with Cave, huh? That's probably a misstep. They can almost kill me next turn, or this turn. That's not lethal, what they're doing. Yeah. Okay, they drew the land, so they got me. Oh, because I blocked a zombie. So basically how I mathed it is they have to draw a land to kill me with ribbons. And yeah, I mean, is what it is. Okay, so playing against red-black. I think Redain is pretty decent against them, to be honest with you guys. I don't hate my original plan or anything like that, though. Unlicensed Hearse isn't great. I like Redain because it flies, and also like it makes it harder for them to cast, you know, spells like Chandra, Sorin, that sort of thing. The question is like what to take out. I think we could probably afford to cut like some number of, well, Fiery Temper's not great, let's just be real. It is good discard fodder, but other than that, it's kind of medium. Their creatures, the ones that matter anyway, are too big for Fiery Temper to kill. I think I'm just gonna roll with that. Like, it can kill Graveyard Trespasser. I'm not really too keen. I guess like discarding a card to Graveyard Trespasser isn't terrible, but I don't know. It's tough to say. Maybe this deck should be running like Lava Coil in the sideboard or something. All right, so we play an Epicure and pass. Is our opponent going to pass through their turn? They sure did. Whoops. Sorry about that. It's just not my job to play Magic for you. Play the Informant. Probably going to end up discarding a land here. Yeah, as I suspected. I guess the Plains is just our worst land. I think they panicked and they're trying to play like really fast because they're like super behind on clock. But I don't know. It feels like they're just kind of like calling this game a wash at this point, and they're just gonna like try next game or something. That's what it feels like to me. They like kept super fast and they immediately skipped through their turn. Thoughtseize, take my Cathartic Pyre. Sure. I will discard an Ugin. play the cave because, like, I don't know, I could play this and channel Sokensan, but I assumed they were going to play an untapped land and play Fable this turn, but they did not, so yeah, I figured they were calling that game a wash. Yeah, I figured that was what was going on here. So is there anything I want to change? Do I want to cut these fiery tempers? 2 fiery tempers for something? Not really. Like, Hearse is kind of a trap against them, I feel like. Yes, it exiles their graveyard and shit, and it can get pretty big, but there's also a likelihood that they bring in Culligan's Command, and their graveyard really isn't that important. This hand has almost everything I want in it. Almost everything. So, we're going to keep it. I shouldn't have played Sacred Foundry. I should have played Inspiring Vantage that turn. It's kind of a... Well, I guess it's fine, actually. But sort of a minor misstep. Okay, so they're playing the Vampire this turn. They're just playing Cruxa. That's fine. I'm just going to discard a Plains and take the 3 life. Geez. Okay, well. At least we're getting through these lands, right? Is it Trespasser or the Saga? Trespasser. Trespasser's kind of good against me, but we can play around it. Get the basic planes out there. Then next turn we can discard it and return it for the value. And I'm basically just looking for an Ugin to pitch. Or Aurelia. Aurelia works too. I like that the restoration also enables itself. It's kind of nice. Like, I don't know. It's kind of cool that it just, like, it gets you the planes and then you can just pitch it to bring it into play and ramp yourself. 4 mana, mill 3 cards, and return a creature or planeswalker. So what are they going to return? They have Bone Crusher, Sorin, or Blood Tithe Harvester, or Cruxa, I suppose, but I imagine you want to keep that one in the graveyard. I'm assuming it's Sorin. If nothing else, this deck has taught me, like, the power of the restoration of Aganjo. Like, the card is pretty good. It's not like Fable of the Mirror Breaker good, but it's like a step just below that. Okay, so they returned something that I didn't think they would return there. Bone Crusher Giant. I guess it's a means to kill our Goblin Shaman. We don't have a target. Definitely not blocking. If they kill Goblin and play the Giant, they flip their Graveyard Glutton. So there's that. They just cast Bone Crusher Giant. That is very interesting. You know what I just realized? I actually could have invoked Justice back a... I mean, I guess it wasn't like a really great play or anything like that, but like I could have used it on the Restoration had I discarded it. But it's fine. I'm assuming they have another removal spell here. Like, I don't see any reason why they... Okay. So just had another stop laying around, basically. Their lines have been a little interesting. I'm not quite sure I agree with some of them. It just seems like they had better opportunities this game. Like, it feels like they played their hand out a little weird. I'm assuming they're going to attack with Graveyard Glutton and try a 2-for-1 me. But I'm not going for that. Okay, so they're actually exiling cards from their own graveyard. I don't know. They have 3 cards in hand. We know they have the Bone Crusher Giant on Adventure. I kind of read a removal spell there just because, like, for me to double block their Graveyard Glutton seems like pretty advantageous to me. Even if they do just kill the Restoration, like, it's sort of okay. Okay, so they're just going to cast Bone Crusher. Okay. So I have 1 card in hand. Not really quite sure what that could be. I guess I do this. Okay. And we will just distribute these. If I go 2 and 2, it's actually kind of bad. What if we distributed all 4 on the Spirit token? Is that stupid? Like right now, I guess I kind of have to do 2 and 2, right? Okay, we don't have any more planes. Not attacking. So we're dead to a removal spell, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, kind of is what it is at that point. I don't really know how to make that matchup better. All right, guys, one more, and then I think I've written off this deck for good. I'm not sure. Like, we didn't combo that game, so there's that. I mean, we drew the Invoke Justice. I kind of feel like maybe we need more targets for the combo. Like, maybe some more Aurelias is in order. Like, just go all in and go like 4 and 4. Like, or 4 and 3. Like, take out these Nahiris, because like Nahiri is just not on my radar as a card that I want to play. The restorations have been great. I just think maybe I just want a more cards to just discard, like as discard fodder, essentially. I think that might be the direction like I would go with it, is like cut a couple more, cut like the Nahiris. You have plenty of discard, and just put in 2 more Aurelias, because Aurelia is good. It's just not game ending sometimes, but like it's a fine target to bring back with Invoke Justice. I think one of the biggest problems there was we just didn't have anything good to bring back, so we were stuck, you know, invoking the sagas that don't even really matter. And yeah, I mean, it just sucked. This wasn't good. Okay, it looks like we're playing against red black again, possibly. You have a potential to discard Fiery Temper next turn, maybe kill a creature or something. But yeah, obviously, like, still a work in progress. Don't know if it's good. If you are going to play a deck this weekend in Pioneer, I would highly recommend mono green, red black, blue white control, or Phoenix if you want to win. I always recommend the good decks, but we're here to have fun tonight. So it does appear that our opponent is playing red black, and we have a removal spell for that. Okay, let's pitch our Fiery Temper. Cast it for its madness cost. I am interested in playing the Boros mid-range deck. That's what where this deck is derivative from. But as of right now, I just simply don't have the time to really test everything. So I'm just kind of playing what's fun. But obviously, if there's a lot on the line and I'm trying to win, I think I have a good solid mono green list for this weekend that I'd be willing to jam, just because it's simple, pretty straightforward, obviously. All right, so Secret's out. I would assume they're taking Invoke Justice. That always seems to be like the card to take. Cathartic Pyre is an interesting one that is like close to being good, but probably not good in a traditional Pioneer list. If they play another Blood Tithe Harvester here, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna discard Ugin into this. I don't think there's any reason not to. And at this point, I'm pretty interested in just Cathartic Pyring for 2 and discarding 2 lands, because we're flooding a little bit now. And we quite literally just need another Invoke Justice. Okay. I mean, I could kill this thing. And I'm just going to discard 2 cards. There we go. See, the only reason why Restoration really isn't as good as like Mirror, for example, is because Mirror like gives you like immediate value, right? Mirror gives you a creature like right away, right? I mean, yeah, you get a land for your troubles, but like that's like nothing in comparison to getting like a shaman that can, you know, ramp you. Like even if you make a bad attack, you can still ramp this turn, and it's digging you 2 cards deep as well. Whereas this one is not digging you any cards, but it does ramp you on the following turn. So it's just, it's like, if they had thought about this a little bit more, it's like strictly worse in that regard. But the creature is technically better in a vacuum. But if you get 2 Fables or something, then obviously like it's absurd. Could block here and get it back next turn if we really wanted to, but I think I'm cool on that. Yeah, I actually got the idea to play this card from a affinity deck that I saw on Twitter. That deck seemed pretty gas. It was not running. I don't think it was running in Soul. I think it was just like a value affinity deck. That seemed pretty cool. And they were playing what is it, like something enriches, the 2-mana card that's basically ethereal armor. So like they were basically like making their creatures enormous because they had so many artifacts and enchantments. What's up with the red-black opponents tonight? They're like taking a ton of time. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Get another land into play. Get a combat attack. Get our last planes, and we are out of planes. Yeah, see, at least with like Fable, we would have been able to dig like deeper into our deck, you know. Opponent is on 3 lands, like, but the Goblin Shaman token is really like doing work for them. Perhaps I should have killed it when I had the chance. I didn't predict it would be as big of a problem, but they thought seized my removal spell. They can't Cruxo this turn. So is it Chandra? Possibly. They minused. Oh no, I'm sorry. They I like looked away for a second. I was so confused. I'm gonna say no here. I think, right? I mean, I can get Voldair and Epicure back, I suppose. Yeah, that's probably fine. I hate letting them on tap with this, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it. And I've run out of planes, so... We have 6 mana. We can Aurelia if we draw one. Opponent shocks in a Blood Crypt. Yeah, kind of figured that. Of course, we have another one coming. Six mana. So I can play Bone Crusher and something else. I mean, we're still just a draw away from winning the game, though. That's the thing. Interesting. They pitched Dreadbore. But why? That seems just like straight up incorrect. Oh, so they can Cruxa this turn? Okay. Okay, I can see that. Initially, I was like, why would you pitch Dreadbore? You can use it to kill my Saga next turn, but now I realize they wanted to get an extra card in their graveyard so that way they could Cruxa. That makes more sense. Cruxa is definitely going to present a fast clock. And that's going to come into play tapped regardless. I think with the trigger on the stack... What is this? Okay. They're trying to copy their Cruxa? It's legendary, bro. Like, come on now. Stop wasting our time. Alright, so let's do... Oh, man. I, can't kill Chandra this turn, because if I do, then I don't know if I'm going to stay alive. I, kind of need to do, something this turn. Oh, God. I'm pretty certain I'm gonna die here, but whatever. Do your worst. Maybe it was right to keep one of those Ugins into our hand. I don't know. But I mean, we would have had to discard it to Cruxa anyway, so couldn't have been. We take 3. I mean... I feel like they're thinking way too hard about this. What is up with are all of our red-black opponents just stoned? Are they are you just stoned out of your mind? What is there to really consider here? I don't. Okay, so we take. We're still not dead, right? Take 6, 9. That's actually lethal, I think. All right. Pretty sure. So we block. I was about to say, man, if they have a fatal push, I'm just gonna laugh my ass off, cause they just sat there for so long, thinking about it, ooh, what do I do? It's bruh. Pretty sure I'm just exactly dead, right? Or no? Am I tripping? I guess not. I take 5, I got a 3. Yeah. We're cool. We're alive. We almost have them dead, which is kind of funny, actually. This thing has Menace, so I have to keep that in mind. So if I attack with my Cave of the Frost Dragon, I hit them for 6, and then I would have 4 blockers in play, so I could double block their land, block, but if they kill something, I'm still technically not dead, but this is kind of a predicament. So I can attack with Cave and Architect here, and if they don't draw a removal spell, even if they draw a removal spell, and let's say they kill Architect, then I block with a Spirit Token and double block their land and block with a Spirit Token. Or no, I would take 2. I'd be down to 1. Even with a removal spell. I'm doing it. It's a close game. This is like actually a close game, which I'm actually kind of surprised because I have not done anything that I've wanted to do this game really. But here we are. Okay. Did they just have another Bone Crusher Giant? Is that what's gonna happen to me? The fourth Bone Crusher Giant? Yeah. Well, nothing I did mattered at that point. So yeah. I honestly don't know what I bring in this matchup. I guess I'll bring in a hearse. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Like, at least hearse gets big enough to where it can just block and be, like, generally unkillable. Not that hearse is... I wouldn't recommend bringing in hearse against Rakdos. I don't think it's necessarily good. I just think, like, I'm sort of at a loss. Like, the deck is, like, almost good enough, but just feels like it's lacking. General graveyard hate seems to be enough to deal with it. It's not doing anything, like, inherently more powerful than, like, let's say Mardu Greasefang, which just kind of outright kills your opponent in ways. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, we're just, I don't know, we're just sinking slowly. We just had a game where it was 3-3 against Rakdos, and they had all four of their Bone Crusher Giants, so they just stomped us a bunch of times basically and killed me. So it was kind of weird. I don't know. Definitely felt winnable, but here we are. They also, it's weird, like, so previous match we played against Red Black and they played incredibly slow, and now my current opponent is playing incredibly slow. So I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't think Rakdos midrange is really that hard of a deck, if I'm being honest. And it's not like these people are playing very optimally, so yeah, I don't really know what the Red Black players are trying their best. I know, but like, goddamn, man, it's like, it's really not that hard. You just play on curve. Like, it's not that fucking difficult, but they're trying to like big brain it or something. And now I'm sitting here like waiting the full 2 minutes to sideboard with this deck. We're in the goddamn 0-2 bracket, man. Like, just hurry the fuck up. Like, why are you devoting this much time to a 3-2? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it bewilders me. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this one. Sick. I think I just put back the mountain here, right? All right, player advantage, go. I guess technically it's correct to play Den of the Bugbear, but I'm like past the point of caring. I don't know if he's in the Discord or not. You'd have to ask him. He might be. A bunch of people have joined recently, so I've kind of lost track of like which one of my friends are in and which ones aren't. And then I randomly have friends who like leave and like they're like, "Hey bro, invite me back." And I'm like, "Bro, like why did you leave?" Like, and they know where to find the link too. That's the thing. Oh my god, dude. What is going on in my life? Do I even discard Ugin at this point? Like, I feel like with... No, I'm not. I'm just going to discard Needle Verge Pathway. I'm going to get Thoughtseized again. They're going to Thoughtseize me, knowing that I discarded a land. They're going to be like, oh, he kept a permanent in his hand or a spell. All right. Sick. I also, another little take that I have of this deck, I think we could be playing less lands. Like, definitely at least 24. To Fatal Push or to Stomp. Okay. Okay. I don't, like, all right. Yeah. Yeah, 25 seems like too many. At the very least, like, maybe even 23 and like a Shatter Skull Smashing or whatever that card is called. Yeah, this is why I didn't discard the Ugin. Precisely why I didn't discard it. All right. I mean, they're gonna take. If they attack, and I still have my creature, then they lose their Graveyard Trespasser. So this is my last match. I want to keep hitting my land drops, of course. But also, like, I wanted to play Unlicensed Hearse that turn. I think that's fine. Whatever they target, I'm exiling it first. The plays, boys. Do attack with Den of the Bugbear? I kind of think no, but I don't know. I don't care. I'm not gonna attack with it. I'll just leave it back. If anything, I'll use it to crew Unlicensed Hearse next turn and get them. And then they'll get me by Fatal Pushing it. Oh wait, that's right. The Glutton. Oh yeah, I gotta Thoughtseize the guy with one card. The quintessential knew you had Ugin in your hand. Knew you had a card for me to Thoughtseize. It's interesting. Down by 8 minutes. I think next turn I'm more interested in trying to block, just because like it'll be bigger, of course, but we'll see. It's so painful. Like it's so hard for me to play this slow on Moto. Like there's really like I swear to God, like I will not ever get tilted by like you can kill me on turn 0. I don't care. Like that's magic. I don't care. But if there's one thing that will kind of irritate me, it's like when my opponent is like down by 9 minutes and 10 minutes and like shit like that. Like that is just so egregious to me. Are they really K Command? Oh, I was about to say, dude, did they bring in K Command? Yeah, honestly, guys, like I'm at a point now where I kind of am starting to think Pioneer might just be solved. like, not that I really had like huge hopes for this deck or anything, but like playing against these red black players, you know, playing this way just makes me think like that if you're not playing red black, if you're not playing Phoenix, blue white control, or what deck didn't I name? Mono green. Then you're just not doing what you should be doing. Sure. So this means that they don't have. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do Den of the Bugbear because they could potentially have. Oh yeah, they probably have a Fatal Push. Yeah, they probably have Fatal Push. I know this doesn't play around Rending Volley, but we're gonna animate this one. Because it's more expensive to animate anyway. No way Pioneer is solved yet, TBH. Also 2 sets before Atlanta, so there's still room in the format change. Yeah, but like the thing is, like we don't know how the format is going to change. Like I agree, like the format is definitely going to change, but like it just feels like the format is solved. I've been playing Pioneer a long time. I've been playing Pioneer for like 2+ years, and it just feels like I'm at a point now where like I don't know, like the decks haven't really changed much in the past few months. People are finally like focusing on the format because it's important, and it just feels like I don't know, it feels like people have figured out what's good and what's not. And I've ripped like lands for like I don't know how many turns at this point, and my opponent is down so far on clock that like I literally don't understand. You know what I mean? Like how on earth, why is this game taking so long? What are they doing? What do you like, are you stream sniping? Like I mean, I'm not saying they are or anything like that, but I'm just confused on like why this person is taking so long. You know what I mean? Like I've done literally fucking nothing this entire game, and like they are down by like goddamn 9 minutes. Like, and that's only because I've been ranting. You know what I mean? Like they would really be down like 12 minutes if I was playing like without a stream going on. Yeah, it's like like I said, I don't care about losing. Like I really don't. Like I'm 0-3 and I don't even care about that. Like I just don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that was the second person in a row. It would be one thing if it was like, if it was like, you know, oh man, we got one slow person, but that was the second one in a row and they were both playing the same deck. Oh, boys. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'll be playing that deck again anytime soon. I think if I'm gonna, I need to cleanse the palette. I need to play a league with like 4-color Omnath and like cleanse my palette. You know what I mean? Because I'll be goddamn if I like lose another league like that. That was painful. Oh, that was painful. I don't know. But yeah, send me your list, Ryan. Like, show me what you got, because I'll take a look at it. I think like I said, I need to gear up for the challenges this weekend and you know, get like ready for those. I think I'm gonna play 4-color elementals in modern, and then for Pioneer I will play like probably like mono green or something. You know, the most boring fucking deck of all time, but it just has to happen because I don't know, man. Like these decks are just, they're so refined right now. It's hard for me to come up with anything that's like super good right now. I'm gonna send you guys over to my boy Jody. He's streaming right now and I just realized it. So take care, guys. I will see y'all this weekend, tomorrow. I'll keep y'all posted on like what lists I'm gonna play and stuff like that, so you guys know. And yeah, don't forget to join the Discord. And I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Doomwake for the raid. You're awesome, man. I appreciate it. Been subbed to Doomwake for a long time. If you haven't checked him out and you just roamed in, definitely check him out. But peace out, guys.
I could play things. Whoa, Danny with the raid. What's up, Danny, baby? Hope y'all had a good stream. Welcome in. Just chilling, trying to convince ourselves not to keep playing Lotus Field combo. Round 1 of that adventure, we're up against Lotus Field. So, because I like top 8 at 3 yards, BT keys with it, or whatever the fuck they call them now. And so I'm like, hey, can I convince myself to play something on Lotus Field? Probably not. But they got some cool decks. Next month it's all modern stuff, so I'll be playing some modern at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they can't give us omniscience. That's 100%. So we basically get to pick what we want. So it's like, what do we want? We can Valky alt. We don't really have any good spells to get. This is basically just going to kill a Lotus Field, which won't stop them from thought distortion on us. But we do get to put the Voring clicks on them. And just come 8-ball. Got no way to kill. That's kind of whack. There's like no way to actually remove this ley line. Because then we just thought distortion them. You know, we'd be like omniscience, thought distortion, and a way to remove a permanent. Imagine not finding that in a book deck. You know, it's like there's no Assassin's Trophy. You couldn't pick Assassin's Trophy in this case anyway, but you know, like you would think there would be something here. Like a straight. What's the name of the damn card? It was all